These bears date back to the 1990s. The AIDS pandemic had affected many people in the creative communities, so the company Tyrie, a Melbourne bear maker, decided that they would try and raise funds for various AIDS charities. The company sent bears around the world to different artists, designers, fashion people, and asked them to dress the bears so the bears could be sold for charity. Over the 3 or 4 years the auctions were held, it would have been about 300 bears were made. We've been lucky to acquire 4 of the most well-made and attractive of the bears, and I'm very excited to bring them into the collection. One of my favourites, of course, is Audrey Hepburn, which is how it's described in the catalogue, which is her playing the character Holly Golightly from the film Breakfast at Tiffany's. And they've dressed her up, of course, in that classic scene where she does actually go and have breakfast at Tiffany's. So that was done by Daryl Myatt, who was a local costume designer. Daryl has certainly captured Audrey very, very well, and I even loved the hair and the jewellery and the gown and just everything, and even right down to the little croissant she has attached to her glove. These bears actually came from one donor who was a big bear fan. She obviously liked the opera because there were a number of the bears marked in the catalogue done by various opera companies, and she was lucky enough to buy 2 of them, which were done by the San Francisco Opera costume department in 1994 and 1995. The first one is Clarion from the opera Capriccio, which was a Strauss opera, and she's in the beautiful big hat with the feathers, which I just adore. And the other one was from 1995. It was Othello from the Verdi opera Othello, and he's wearing an amazing Middle Eastern style costume, which again was made by the San Francisco Opera wardrobe department. The last bear is called the Duchess of Double Bay, and it was actually created by Jonathan Ward, who is a couturier who had his studio in Double Bay in Sydney, so it's a homage to the sort of people he would have been making couture gowns for. He also knew a jeweller, Adrienne Lewis, and he persuaded Adrienne to make her own special suite of jewels, which are just amazing. A Tyrie bear of this size at the time was selling for about $200, but the bears themselves, there was really a great response, and it was done by Christie, so it was a real proper auction. Definitely was worth all the effort, and they raised a considerable amount of money for local AIDS charities. The way I explain these bears to people is that I can sort of compare them to what was happening during COVID, that it was the creatives who did this amazing work, and even though they're the ones primarily affected by it, they were the ones who really stepped up and were raising the funds. And the fact that this small Melbourne company was able to dress 300 bears with the help of a number of organisations and individuals around Australia and around the world just goes to show what we could do when we really were determined by something that had affected us so greatly. It's great that we've got these 4 of them to display together because they're an amazing ensemble. But yeah, they really do represent that passion and determination that the community had to react in a positive way and do everything they could to both look after the people suffering, but also money funneled into research and that sort of thing to stop it taking over, really. So yes, I'm really pleased to bring them into the collection and share them with people.